I mean,
Yeah.
it's been said, so
I
what?
said yes. I don't care. No.
Whatever. Let's go.
So, season's finished.
Yep.
How was the season?
Season was awesome, to be honest. We started without any kind of idea about where we were gonna be in terms of results. I actually started the first race, just trying to figure out this new thing for me, and trying to see like where we were and where our weak points were and where we needed to improve things. And it looked like we actually knew how to figure out this new thing quite quick, like quicker than what I actually expected. So I would say like the season we had like, I would say a few ups and a few downs, but it was really like an excellent season, I would say, for my personal like experience.
Awesome. Especially it's first time in e-bikes, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like it's obviously I had like a full year without racing, and I was missing a little bit those like feelings and like just the fact of improving, you know, like, and just getting better for my own self. It was just like that thing that I was missing for a whole year, and it was just a new chapter for me, like to jump into a new thing like e-bikes. And I've never even raced an enduro race, like a normal like enduro race. So for me it was more like let's see how it goes. And I think having that year of racing made me kind of have it with just more focus and kind of just dealing with the pressure and dealing with everything. And it looked like it worked out, and we just had really like great results since the beginning, at least for me, you know. Like it was really like the expectations that I had in terms of results, we just went much higher straight away since the beginning. So
awesome. And so we'll just quickly kind of do a little recap of the races, but the first race finale, as much as you can remember of it, how would you summarize that race?
Yeah.
Feelings going into it to the end.
I remember going there, we were driving with Edgar, and we were just like if we were going there for a bike ride with friends, really. Like I didn't want to put too much pressure on myself or anything. I knew that it was a learning year and we had a lot to learn. So I was just going there without any expectations at all. I was just like, okay, let's do one. And once we finish this one, we'll see what we can improve from there. And obviously I remember I was just riding like myself, just having fun, getting a bit loose. And it ended up working out really good. We got 14th, which I was really impressed on. Like for being the first race, I was like, such a good result. You know, we didn't have any mechanicals, like any crashes. So everything went really smooth, to be honest. And I knew straight away what I had to improve on. I remember that Leogang and Valdifasa, they were coming really close after that. So I didn't have a lot of time at home to kind of improve things. But mentally, I knew where I needed to improve and get better to have a better result. So yeah, like that first race, it was just like a learning curve, and obviously we had a better result than I expected. But it was a good starting point.
Yeah. And then on to Leogang, because you've obviously raced in Leogang before.
Yeah.
So
Leogang has always been a special place for me. I had like great results in the past on the downhill scene. I love the place, and it looked like it was more bike park kind of thing, so it suited me. And then I remember jumping on the bike. It was the first time that we did a couple of track walks. I remember going to to the first race in Pietra. We didn't do any track walk, which nowadays everyone does. But we just got there like, okay, well, whatever. And then we were talking about doing a few track walks in Leogang. So when we went there, we walked a few tracks, like I think we had 10 stages and we only walked like 2 of it. But anyway, it made a huge difference. I remember on those 2 tracks that we walked, we were actually like, the speed was like really high, and I could feel like every day like riding more like myself. So you could see on the paper sheet, like we won I think 2 or 3 stages on the race. That was like big for me. I was like, okay, now I know that I have the speed to win the stages. Obviously it's a long race. You really need to figure out how to do good in like all the race and how to manage it. So at least I knew that, you know, it was possible to win it, and it was a step forward really. I think we got 6th there, so it was a top 10, and I was like, okay, we're getting there, you know, like we're close to the podium. But obviously my mindset was still the same as the first race. It was like, okay, let's just go have fun, learn, and we'll see how it goes. You know, if in the next race we get 14th again, we're gonna learn anyway. So it was just more like that. But obviously it was special to be able to win a few stages. That made me like realize that I can actually be up there. So yeah, Leogan was great.
And then on to Ludenville, which was...
Val di Fassa, wasn't it?
Val di Fassa, sorry, yeah.
Val di Fassa, yeah.
That was a...
Val di Fassa was quite a cool one. I remember going there. I was walking the track, like a few stages. I think we walked pretty much all of them, because we thought that like in Leogan, when we walked all those stages, it was making a huge difference. So we walked most of the stages, and to be honest with you, I didn't feel like they were suiting me that good, and they were just hard. I don't know, like hard packed, and then a few of them they were really natural, but just the tape of it didn't look really nice to me, at least. But I just went for it really. There's nothing you can do, you just have to ride it. And I remember in trainings it was a bit slippery, so I didn't have like a good feelings or anything. I was just like, okay, whatever, we'll see how it goes. And the race started with the stage that I thought it was going to be my stage, I would say, and I ended up like 9th or 10th, like not really good. And I was like, whoa, like if right now you haven't done that good, now the stages that I think they don't do that good, they're coming now. So I don't know if you're going to be able to kind of recover that, you know.
And does that affect your riding on the day? Does
it
burrow into your head?
Yeah, like I feel like at that point it's all mentally. Like racing day, it's all mentally, you know, like all the homework is done. You've done everything. You visualize all the GoPros, and then you've done all the, like, let's say physical stuff. Like everything is done. You just need to, like, if you're in a good mindset, you can make it through, even if it's like a hard day in the office. And it was one of those hard days, you know. And I remember like just like I forgot about that first stage, and I was just like, okay, just make it through, like just keep on going, you know. And all of a sudden, after the first loop, I think we were like 3rd overall, and I was like, whoa, like this is real, you know, like it's kind of happening. And I remember there, like I had that pressure again that I never felt. Well, I didn't felt for the whole 1.5 years, which was like those feelings that you have when you're in a World Cup, you know. It's like, okay, now you're in a position that if you don't perform good in the second loop, you're gonna lose the podium. And obviously, like those feelings, it's like a love-hate relationship kind of thing. It's just like you like those feelings because it makes you perform good, but at the same time, it's like it's really consumes you, you know, like mentally it's really hard to deal with. But I don't know, it just felt like natural to me. Like the second loop, I went there and I actually did like really, oops.
Okay, apologies.
Yeah. I actually did like just a good second loop. Like I don't know if I won like any of the stages, but I was just there, you know, the whole race. I remember I was like third, second, something like that. So that made me end up with the second place. And I was like, whoa, like it was real, you know, like for me, all that to be able to achieve that in what was it, like 3 races. It was just like, whoa man, like we actually did something big, you know, like for the team, for myself, for everyone around me. It was really like something big, you know. So yeah, it was just a special moment, you know, like for everyone, for all the hard work everyone's putting in, and yeah, it was just really special. But after that, we had a big break, you know.
Yeah.
Too. So.
And what did you do in between on the break? Just training or? It's Egger.
So, in that break, I think it was like 2 months, wasn't it? Like big break. To be honest, I had like a few moments where I was like not in a really good position in terms of like racing, because I never had that big break. And obviously after a good result, you can have like really highs and lows and doubts on yourself, and it's like maybe you had luck in that race, maybe not. Like I don't know, it's hard because you cannot prove anything else because you're like 2 months without racing. So I remember like I was going through days where I was riding on the bike park and I was trying to push myself to make sure I had the speed to be in the podium, you know. It was a bit weird, to be honest, because some days I was like really believing on it, some others I was like, fuck, maybe you had like some luck there or not, you know. It was kind of hard to figure out, to be honest. I remember like I was just making it through those 2 months. I was riding, I was not training as much as maybe I was before the first 3 rounds, because mentally I was really like, you know, it's summer at home, it's really busy, you want to do things with your friends. I was with my family for holidays. I was just, there was a lot of things going on, you know. In summer in Barcelona there's a lot of things going on, so in my head it was really like there was too much stuff going on, you know. I had like to be in Apex quite a lot, so like that was really busy too. We're changing the warehouse. It was like a packed 2 months. It was really insane. Like if I like reflect on that now, I'm like, I don't know how I really dealt with it and did that good the first like race after, because I was like, there was days that I had doubts on myself, really, like because I was not fully prepared physically, I don't think, but I was really prepared mentally. And that proves that, you know, if you're strong enough mentally, you can really do big things, even if your body is not in the right place, the right moment. And that proved that, like, on the race after, like 2 months after, coming from a big 2 months break, really packed, really like doing things that it was not only focused on the bike riding. We went to Ludenbeel. We got there, and I just pretty much set the same plan. Like, let's just go, ride how you know how to ride. Easy going. Like, at the end of the day, I was still telling myself, like, it's a learning season. You know, I know that you want to do good, and I know that you've been in the podium once, and once you do that, it's like, if you do less, it's not good. But that's like the mentality of a racer, right? Like when you put yourself here, you don't want to go there. So I was pretty much just like riding like I know how to ride, and it worked out. Like it was amazing. Like all those 2 months of like a few days like doubting myself, a few days that I was like, okay, I think you've got the speed anyway, whatever, like a lot of things going on besides the bikes, and like I just proved myself like dude, you're actually like tough mentally, you know, like you can really be in a lot of things involved, and like Apex, and then holidays, and then this and that, and boom boom, and then all of a sudden you just put everything together mentally, you're racing, and if you have like a great group of people next to you, it's like it just happens, and it worked out, you know, and that was really like emotional for me, like even more than the first one, like the first podium, I would say, because it's like, because I proved myself that you can really achieve good things if you're mentally strong, you know. So that was cool.
Yeah, I'd say it was an amazing feeling coming through the finish line. Hey?
Yeah,
You know?
Yeah,
Just
like the feeling of, I remember like the feeling of the last stage, you know, like just being in the Stargate there and just thinking like, okay, you need to make it through. Like you just need to ride good and not do any stupid like mistake or anything. And that's when like the pressure comes, you know. And
do you start to like overthink some of your lines you were going to do? You think at that point, or
no, I think I had that problem when I was more like a junior. Now I kind of, you know, I at the end of the day, I've been like 11 years in the World Cup. It can be enduro or downhill, whatever. So I went through a lot of stuff, and mentally I feel like I'm really mature in that kind of things. So it was more like just make it through, you know, just ride like smooth. You don't really have to, you know. I think I was like the third was like 14 seconds behind. So I knew that like it was not easy, but you could just do a good run and just, you know, still got second. And obviously Barrel was like really far away. He was like 30 seconds or whatever. So it was just like a matter of not having any mechanical and not having any crash and just make it through. But still I could feel that pressure, you know, of like, okay, now you need to really perform in this run and everything will be over. But I remember like the last bit of it was like a straight, like a really, we were going through the camping thing, and at that point I knew like nothing wrong could happen. So I was like, I remember just going like, you've done it again, you know, like it's really emotional, you know, because it's like, it's new for me, it's new for the team, and we achieved just things that like maybe 4 months ago we're not even thinking about them. So it's like, I don't know, it was just emotional, like the whole thing, you know, like just everyone that was there, you know, you could feel it too, you were there.
and the last race in the final.
Yeah, we're here.
Yeah, we're sitting here right now actually.
Yeah, the last race, I was actually really, like I had something more for this one. I felt like I could say like I put my heart to win this one. I really wanted to try to win it. I feel like I'm now in a point where I think I can do it, and I feel like I've got the speed to do it. I just need to figure out a little bit more the power stage things and all that. But I really wanted to take a shot at winning the thing. And sometimes when you put like your whole heart into it and you put so much, some stuff can happen. And obviously, like I remember on trainings, I was feeling good. I was like the kind of tracks that we had here, they were suiting me quite a lot. We had a bit of like bike park kind of loop, and we had like 4 stages that they were more like natural kind of enduro stuff. I was just feeling good in all of them, to be honest. The power stages weren't that bad. Like I felt like I couldn't make it through and just not being like 30th or whatever. So I really wanted to take a shot and see if I could win it. So the day started kind of good, you know. I had like good feelings on me, just easy going. I know it's a long race, so it's not like a downhill run that you need to put everything together in 3 minutes. So I started, I remember I was third in the first stage, like 1 second off, just with a normal run. And I was like, okay, from now on, I knew that I could make it. And I was like, I started the second stage. I was just riding really good. I remember I was just doing all the lines really like perfect. I remember like surprising myself in a couple of places, like, dude, like you're doing.
Sorry.
No worries.
We don't have like the best place in the
No
world.
worries.
I think it's good. I was hoping to do them outside today because there's a mountain in the back.
Yeah.
But,
It's all good.
Carry on, please.
Yeah, so I remember like starting the second stage and just, you know, like hitting some lines, and even like I was surprising myself of how I was riding. I was like, okay, this is a good one.
You came past us
And
at the end of stage 2, and we were all the
Yeah.
filmers were like,
yeah,
he's moving.
yeah. No, I was like, I was on it. Honestly, I was like, there's like, for me, this is already a win. This whole, like, what we achieved. So there was nothing to lose really in this race. So I was like, let's just give it a shot actually and see what we can achieve. And yeah.
Pierre.
And then I remember just hitting all those lines, just surprising myself how I was riding. And then there was this flat section where you had to like really push, and I was just pushing so much like in the pedaling, and then you were like straight away there was like a really steep part where I knew that I could make time in there. Like I knew straight away that like, okay, this is the part where you're gonna do good. And like you just go into it, there was a left rut there that it was really deep. So I went to that really like just faster than what I thought it was possible really. And then it just went, and I went straight away into a tree. Like I just catch the tree with my hand, and I just went like over the bars really. It was really like it's been a long time since I have a crash like this. Like it was really fast crash, and like it couldn't be like worst, I would say, because there was like a lot of trees everywhere, and just like the speed you were going there, it was really like really bad. But then I just like after the fall, I kind of went to take my bike, and I remember like I was a bit dizzy. I could feel like my shoulder was not really like good. It's not like it was broken, but I could feel really sore. Just the whole body was really sore. There was nothing, like not one only place that was really like, okay, I broke this or that. It was just like the whole body. So my first thought was like, you're third overall, let's try to make this happen. That's like the first thought that I had on mine. But obviously like at one point it's like, you know, I got the bike, like the bars was completely twisted, like the saddle was broken. And just my whole body was sore. So the whole pack and the whole scenario there, it was like telling me like, you know, this is it. Like you don't really have to prove anything to anyone. You know, like we achieved already a lot. And like for me, it was more like mentally the whole like third overall, and we were really battling for second. We were really tight in points. I think we had like a great shot at, you know, getting that second overall. But you know, it's racing. It's like if you want to have like a top 20, you can just ride, let's say, in control or like in your comfort zone. But if you want to win, you need to take those risks, and this can happen anytime. Like you can have a mechanical, you can just have a bad crash that just makes you be like out of the race. But it is what it is, you know. I just prefer to really put your heart into winning something, and this can happen, than just having like not like the result that I was, you know, expecting or whatever. So when at the beginning you asked me like how the whole season was, and when I talk about like highs and lows, I feel like you learn from all of them really. You know, it's like this whole season, if I reflect into it, it's like, dude, you had so much going on. Like we had a learning season where we had like great results. You know, you had these low points that it could be like this race, but you just learn about it so much. And as a racer, what happened in this race, you know that it can happen anytime, because you really push to the limit to kind of get the result you want. And obviously this can happen, like otherwise everyone would do it. It's just a risk we take, and you just need to manage it, and sometimes you can have more luck than others, and it's like you just need to like make it through and just deal with it really. And I feel like I deal with all these situations for my whole life, as long as I remember, in terms of racing. So it's just easygoing, you know. It's just another learning thing in your career, and you just make it through, and you know, 2024 is waiting, so that's it.
Awesome, dude. Then some last few quick questions. First of all, you could just tell us your like actual overall result in the end, like what you.
I think we finished fourth. which is, you know, if you would ask me or tell me that I was gonna end up fourth like a few months ago, I wouldn't even, you know, think about it or anything. It's awesome, but as a racer, you always want more. And when you are like battling for second and then somehow you end up fourth because of crash, it's always, you know, a hard one to deal with. But it is what it is, man. Like we just, like, I don't know, right? Thinking about it, it's more than what we all expected. And for myself, even more, you know, I was like, I remember when I was talking to the guys in Gas at the beginning, I was like, yeah, let's see if we can get like a few top 20s this year, you know. And that was my goal. Like that was really like my goal for this year, just get some top 20s and kind of get more experience into this new thing for me. So it's just amazing, you know, like if you think about it. But obviously right now, like knowing that you can win stages and be in the podium, like you always want more. But it's, I would say, a good starting point for the first year, you know, like ended up fourth. Next year we start with a number 4 on the number plate, and I think it's going to be good, you know, we're more mature.
And how was the bike this season?
Bike was amazing. I think I said that even like during the race, like when we were changing batteries and stuff, there was a lot of times I was like telling like the guys like, you know, this thing is awesome, it's really good bike, like racing bike. Just the whole thing was really good. I was like really surprised because obviously when it's a brand like new bike, brand new thing, you need to really develop it and just like see the weak points of it and the strong ones. And yeah, we just made it through really, like everything was really smooth, to be honest. We just had a good bike with, you know, great people in terms of like suspension wise too. So the whole package was really good, and that's why we could put the bike in the podium a couple of times, you know, because there was all the parts from, like, let's say, like all the people that was working, like from Gas, from RockShox, like from everyone there, they put everything together to help us to get there, you know. So yeah, there's nothing much more to say about the bike apart from it's been awesome, you know. It's like you can see, like you can see on the riding, you can see in the results, and the bike looks amazing. So there's, you know, everything is good about that.
Awesome. And your mechanic?
Oh man,
Did
that was really cool. So yeah, I remember a few months ago when like the people in Gas, they asked me if I wanted to go racing again, which that was not the initial deal, but you know, they just asked me if I would like to race this thing, and I was like, okay, let's go do it. I just thought like I need someone more like as a friend to be able to, you know, like just be with him a little bit, and sometimes having someone like him in the hard moments and stuff like that, it makes it more like easy. So when I was asking him like, would you be keen to kind of come with me and just do some mechanic stuff? And then he was like, well, yeah, but you know, like he's never been like a World Cup mechanic or anything. He's always been good at doing servicing his bike and stuff like that, but never been a mechanic for anyone. So he was like, I'm not sure. And I was like, dude, I know you can do it. Like this is easygoing. Like it's gonna be okay. And that was just the right decision, to be honest. Like if you have someone that you trust next to you, and obviously we had like really good moments, but a few seasons you can just have, you know, a bad period of time where you're not having the results and not having what you actually want. And I think if you have like someone like him, like as a friend that you trust and stuff, everything is just smoother. So I feel like he's got the same mentality as me in terms of like we had like really good moments together, and everything worked out really good. And you know, like when you have like a great result and you can share it with someone like him, that was really like emotional and special. Like these like two those two podiums when he was like waiting for me in the finish line and stuff, that was like just really cool, you know, like to share something with him because he's been part of it. You know, it's not my own result, it's the result of everyone that's been involved. It's like from the team, from him, from my family at home, like it's just like a general result. It's not only mine, you know. At the end of the day, I'm the one that rides the bike, but there's a lot more that comes along the way. So yeah, it's been just a good match, and I think he's just gonna, you know, continue with me as long as I'm racing, because I feel like he's the right fit. So yeah, it's good.
And how was it riding with Fishy? Because we asked you at the start of the season what you were expecting.
Yeah.
To be working together and learning from each other.
Yeah, it was just really good. To be honest, he's such a good like character, fun guy, and like we had so much like fun together. I would say, you know, like it's good that you start with someone that starts from zero too, and that comes from the background that you come. Like it was just like the same kind of, we were like improving at the same level in time. Like when you come from the downhill, there's a lot that you need to improve and learn in the enduro scenario. So it's like we could talk about it, we could, you know, see what things they were suiting us a bit more and not, and like I don't know, like the transition of having someone that's not being in the enduro too, it was much easier. So it was really good, to be honest, like having just a easy teammate and easygoing like just person next to you is really like good and nice. And obviously he's more experienced than me, he's been so much like more than me in terms of like years and stuff, so there's always things that you can learn out of him. And yeah, just really grateful to have like, you know, someone like him as a teammate.
And the final two questions.
Mm-hmm.
What are you looking forward to in the next season?
Well, obviously next season I just want to start strong, but when, as I said, like when you're in the podium, you don't want, you know, less than that. So I expect to have podiums, and I will definitely work for a win. That's my idea, and that's my goal. I do feel like I can do it. To be honest, I felt like I could do it this weekend, just didn't click. But yeah, nothing really will change. I just feel like I need to improve a few more things. There's always room to improve, but definitely I want to get that win and just be more consistent in the podium and keep learning and keep like just pushing forward.
Awesome. So last question. If you had to sum up this season in one word, what would you say?
Unreal, I would say. Because like, yeah, if you would tell me like all these would happen in like 5 races, it would have been like unreal, really. Because realistically, I was not expecting like the great results I had. That's pretty much it. Like for myself at least, I was expecting a bit less. So unreal would be the word.
Awesome. Dude, that's a wrap on you. Thank you very much.
Thanks, man.
Thank you for a good season.
Yep, thank you.